David. It's my pleasure today to introduce a fellow Rotarian, Charles Brewer, who's here at Brigham. It's going to be a very interesting program. In May of this year, the Board of Directors of the ARC Gateway Organization named Charles the Executive Director of ARC, so he's relatively new in his present position. Prior to joining ARC, Charles served for 13 years as the President and CEO of Health First Network here in Pensacola. He's also spent some time with Sacred Heart Hospital. And in total, he has more than 27 years experience in the field of healthcare, including the field of health insurance, managed care, and healthcare finance. He has a bachelor's degree from LSU, an MBA from Southeastern Louisiana University. Charles, with Carol Hicks, who's with him, is here to present a program that ARC has. It's a very unique partnership between a local nonprofit and a local industry that I think you find very interesting. So please welcome Charles Brewer.
Hello. This is very familiar for me. I was the 7-year Sergeant at Arms for Five Flag Rotary, and I've seen many of you there make it up and everything. And it's also very familiar because we had a meeting yesterday and I recognized a lot of the food. So, I won't tell you which. But I came on in January of this year with the ARC as a result of an unfortunate death of the previous executive director, Donna Fassett. I'm sure that if y'all didn't know personally, you had met her or heard about her. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the ARC in general, and then Carol's going to talk more specifically about the project we have going on right now. What I found, I had been the treasurer of the board for a couple of years before I came on, but didn't necessarily come into this with my eyes really wide open. When I got there, what I found out was that you always want to live in a state that's a leader, and you've got that coming to you when you talk in terms of funding for intellectually and developmentally disabled individuals. Florida's last. We're dead last in funding. If you look at our state association, you look at their website, it actually carries a disclaimer on it that says, if you're thinking about moving to Florida and you have a disabled son, relatives, if you're a caregiver, you better think about that a little while, because they're probably not going to get services. Right now, there's 22,000 people in the state of Florida that are intellectually and developmentally disabled that are waiting for services. And they've got plans to move some of them off this year, but only about 1,000 of them. And my guess is that 22,000 number is sort of like the national unemployment number. It doesn't include people that just quit and aren't looking for services anymore. So no telling what that number really is. But let me tell you a little bit more about the ARC. And you hear some of them say ARC and some of them says ARC, and I still say ARC myself. But we actually changed the name to the ARC Gateway. ARC connotated that it was an abbreviation for something, and the R word has come to be kind of demeaning to individuals. And there was actually an act passed in the Florida legislature this session to eliminate the word retarded from all the state statutes and everything. So we're the ARC Gateway. We're a not-for-profit. We're a little bit different than what you see, I guess, most places that provide services and most not-for-profits. We have an operating budget of around $6 million a year, but out of that $6 million a year, we only get 60% of it from the state. The other 40% we generate on our own. 32% of that 40% we generate through sales to the public, And another 8% comes from our foundation and grants, just outright gifts, membership fees, things like that. So, what are some of the things that we do? Well, I'm going to save the enterprise type things for last. In any one month, we conduct pediatric therapy for anywhere between 150 and 200 kids. We get them from birth to till 4 actually, and that's when the school system picks them up. And so we do speech, occupational, and physical therapy. And the best way that I can describe it is to talk about my son. My son's 40 now. Somebody was supposed to say, "Wow, you don't look like you have." We'll pass that on by. But my son's 40 now, and when he was very little, he had a little speech problem, and he didn't say his R's. He talked like Elmer Fudd, you know. So we took him to the speech pathologist, a couple of sessions, and he was fine. He's been fine ever since then. But when you're talking about doing speech pathology for the intellectually and developmentally disabled, the Downs, the Prader-Willis, the severely autistic, I mean, you're talking about kids that are nonverbal, that show up at 1.5 years old that don't speak, period. That the first thing they try to do to those kids is teach them how to sign, that they can ask their parents for things, that they can tell their parents that they need something. So this is not your Gordon Variety speech pathology or physical therapy. Some of the kids don't walk, and they're trying to teach them how to ambulate. And so that's one of our big services that we offer. And when I say offer, we're getting paid the same rate by the state. The vast majority of our business in that is Medicaid or Medicaid-like. And we're getting the same rate that was established by the state in 1989. So we're coming on the 25th anniversary of that particular rate that they're paying. It's not sufficient. I mean, we have to dig into our pockets through other operations to fund that. A couple of other things that we do is supported employment, supported living. There are a certain number of our clients, our higher functioning clients, that can work out in the community, hold jobs out in the community, or live out in the community. And we assign folks to them that they help them live. Like if they're living in an apartment by themselves, well, here's how you access the bus schedule. Here's how you balance a checkbook. Here's how you make a doctor's appointment. And it's continual reinforcement that we have to do this. Same thing when they hold a job. This is the duties on your job. This is, and you go out and visit them month after month to reinforce that. Again, that's something that the state is woefully underfunded, particularly for the intellectually developed disabled folks. If you go to another agency that has the physically disabled, they may be holding a class on employment support where they're telling them how to fill out a resume, how to answer questions, what to do, you know, once you get to work. And they'll have a couple of instructors with 11 people there. But you're talking about somebody that maybe has just cerebral palsy. Now, cerebral palsy is a horrible disease, don't get me wrong. But they're intellectually capable. And they can do that 1 on 11. Ours is 1 on 1. I mean, you can't take somebody with an our maximum IQ is 75. So, and we're funded similar. So that's another one that's problematic for us, that we try to make money from other areas to make up the difference. Now, we run 6 group homes, 6 people in a home. Most of them are employed. 35 out of the 36 are employed somewhere, and we take them to their employment every day in that group home. That's an okay operation. Now we're going to eventually get to what we're supposed to be talking about. It's a long way there. So what do we do to raise money? What do we do to earn money? Let's not say raise money, to earn money. We have a plant nursery. I mean, Probably a lot of y'all don't know that. Right on Fairfield, we have a plant nursery that is very, very competitively priced. We sell Christmas trees and poinsettias at Christmas. We sell Easter lilies. If you haven't visited our plant nursery, you should. That we have better stuff, it's better priced than you'll get at Lowe's or Home Depot. And nobody knows about us. Okay. Next to that, out on Fairfields again, and so there's a way to raise money. We grow the stuff and we sell it. Out on Fairfields, we have a certified shredding and document imaging operation that we employ probably 60 people in there. And again, some of your businesses here that I know, y'all are clients of us. You know, we pick up, bring it back, and as I said, we're certified on that. And then we have another operation that's called adult enrichment, and basically our clients make artwork. And I got to admit, it was a little shaky, but it's been a vast improvement. We had a little function where we sold like $1,200 of their artwork in one day. It was pretty good. Some of the other things that we do that we have contracts with, the next time you stop at the Florida welcome station, or you happen to be driving an 18-wheeler and you have to stop and get weighed, we keep the bathrooms clean at the weigh station and the welcome station, and the grass mowed and trimmed. That's a contract with the state of Florida, the Department of Transportation, through a kind of a quasi-government company called SPAC. What else do we do? Well, one other thing, we have a current, we have what we call Pollock Industries, and we make concrete parking bumpers that we sell and ship and deliver. We make survey stakes, same thing. We make plant sleeves and sell all these, and that's where the 32% comes from that we provide with our own funding. In any one month, we employ around 250 folks that are intellectually and developmentally disabled. And what's the importance of that? Well, if they weren't employed, they'd be sitting at home. And if they'd be sitting at home, they wouldn't be sitting home alone. I mean, remember I said these folks have an IQ of 75 or below. So you're not going to leave them at home, so you've probably taken somebody else out of the workforce to account for this. So it's a good deal all the way around. It's a good deal for the state of Florida. A lot of these folks would be institutionalized if it wouldn't be for that. Now I'm going to get around to the last thing. We've had a long-standing partnership with Armstrong World Industries here in town. And Armstrong, whether you know it or not, makes ceiling tile. One of the things that we do with Armstrong, we call an enclave, and we have an operation out here on the garden, I guess it is, right off the garden. And they send us the ceiling tiles. They come in 2x2 deals. And we cut them, wrap them, and ship them for Armstrong. And what they are is they're marketing pieces. And when I say we ship them, the day that I was out there, we were cutting and wrapping and shipping a marketing sample of ceiling tiles to Hong Kong. So it's a good deal for us. It's a good deal for Armstrong. Now, what we're going to talk about today is a new project we have with Armstrong at our location. And if you never know what scrimming was, you're going to hear it now. And Carol Hicks is going to talk about scrimming.
Hello. Charles got it close to right. Actually, I'm going to talk about de-scrimming. Armstrong, Pensacola plant manufactures a lot of commercial ceiling tile and quite a line of products that has a fabric-like coating over the face, which is of the tile, which is the face that you would see here hanging down at you. And there's a certain percentage of tile that comes through their line that does not meet their quality standards. And in order for that, the body of that tile, they can recycle what that tile is made out of. Armstrong, in general, Pensacola plant does a lot of recycling that people don't hear about. And one of the main things they do is recycle their own reject goods. But in order for the tile that has that fabric-like scrim face on it to be recycled, the scrim has to be taken off. And back in the spring of this year, back in February, people from Pensacola plant approached our agency. And after looking at descrimming, which frankly we had looked at before, and Armstrong had other ways of doing descrimming, so then they came back to us after several years, and we looked at it again and realized that it was a project that we could do at our Pollock Industries program, which on any given day we have about 60 adults working at Pollock Industries, and there were many days when we did not have enough work for these ladies and gentlemen to do. So bringing in descrimming has been a big improvement on the amount of work and training opportunities that we can offer these ladies and gentlemen. And what we do, this is by the truckload. Each truck has about 27,000 square feet of tile on it, palletized. We bring it into our facility. We take a paint sprayer and cut. My technique's an X. Different people have different techniques. Put an X in the face of it and peel that stuff off. I would bring you one to demonstrate, but it's kind of generates a little dust and dirt. It wouldn't fit in that well here. But day after day, we're still trying to hit our marks to descrim as much of this as Armstrong would really like us to be able to do. They're helping us analyze the space that we have at the Pollock Industries building. They helped us with equipment. We are still really gearing up our production with the expectation of being able to meet their needs just for descrimming. So it's a wonderful opportunity. Armstrong Pensacola plant, our agency has had a great relationship with them for many years, and now it's something new. Any questions about descrimming? Keep that word in mind.
Are there any questions about this particular program or anything associated with ARC? And David asked me to remind you to stand, identify yourself when you ask your question.
Charles Brewer. My question has to do with the structure of things. Are they employed by the Pollock Center, and Armstrong deals with the Pollock Center, then you pay the employees? So you're actually employing these folks, or are they employed by Armstrong?
The question was, are they employees of Armstrong, or they are employees? There are employees. In these particular operations, the operations that I mentioned before, where we're helping them out in the community, they're employed by whoever they're with out in the community.
Bo Carter, are you required to pay minimum wage, and if that is so, would a rise in that hurt your ability to compete?
Okay, the question is, are we required to pay minimum wage? And the answer to that is no. We're required to pay an equivalent minimum wage. And what that means is you do a study on the person individually and how much they produce compared to a regular type person, and they get that portion of the minimum wage.
It's the prevailing wage.
Prevailing wage, yeah.
That kind of work.
Yeah. It's not minimum, it's prevailing wage for that work. Yeah, exactly.
My question is, tell us about your store on 9th Avenue and your plans in that.
Okay, so tell us about our thrift store on 9th Avenue, and I think that's probably not us. That we don't have a thrift store on 9th Avenue, but since you asked, we have a plant nursery store that's on Fairfields Avenue. It's right in front of our nursery. And it's one of the things when I got there, I noticed that it was open periodically, which I'm not used to in retail. I'm kind of used to it being open when you go there. So we are, in effect, refurbishing that. It's going to be a regular plant-type gift store, little paint, knock some walls out, better merchandise, things like that. And we're looking to reopen that in early November with a big opening sometime in mid-November. I'm sorry.
John Applegard, what you may not know since you're new there, that a little better than 35 years ago, when ARC was just beginning, the leadership there came to this club asking for help. And the president assigned one of our older members, Bill Pollock, to go to ARC and see what it was all about. And Bill came back and is a tremendous, enthusiastic backer of this. And as a result of that, this club was involved with ARC in the beginning for a number of the major clubs.
That's exactly correct, and the Five Flags has been involved in it, and Bill Pollock is a huge supporter. That we have the Pollock Training Center where we do our document shredding. That's named after him, as is the Pollock agency. So you're absolutely correct.
John Schaefer. A lot of us are employers here. How do you keep your clients, your employees, excited about doing work that some of us may not want to do?
Said, how do we keep our employees excited about doing work? I will tell you this, that's not a problem. These folks are happy to have a place to go. They're happy to be productive individuals. And you give them that check at the end of every 2 weeks, they're just thrilled to death. You know, we have some behavior issues. I'm not going to dispute that, but it's not an enthusiasm or lack of effort from these folks.
Judy Bennett, I'd just like to commend you for what you're doing. I think having communities intellectually underdeveloped people, it's something to do, something productive is very important. I've seen them a lot. I've used them in my own discipline in archaeology, and they can be very productive citizens, and they are very happy to go to work, to wash dishes, to bag groceries, to cut steaks. I just want to personally thank you for what you do, and I know it's been a struggle. I hate it, we're number 50, but you've got my support.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We've also got one of your teachers, Keith Wintery. He's just joined our board. Yes. Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you for that program, and on behalf of our club, we have a token of your visit, one for Charles, one for Cheryl. It says, y'all come back soon.